When you picture a firework injury, who do you picture getting the injury? Probably the person holding the firework, right? The one who lit it, the one who's taken the risk. That's totally wrong. Almost 2/3 of firework injuries happen to bystanders, not the person lighting it, the person watching. Just think about this. The person lighting the firework is focused. They know when to step back. The bystander is holding a drink, filming on their phone, looking in the wrong direction at the exact wrong moment. Get this, even legal store-bought fireworks fail. This has been tested. The Consumer Product Safety Commission tested fireworks right off store shelves. Almost half of them had something wrong. Modified fuses, banned chemicals, too much explosive. That's half of the legal ones. And when a defective firework misfires, the debris travels 15-30 feet. Do you want to know the official safe viewing distance for fireworks? 500 feet. Do you have 500 feet in your backyard? I certainly don't. Now, what actually happens to the eye when a firework hits it? Trust me, this is the part where it gets uncomfortable. But I want you to hear this, because if you're ever in this situation, you can be the hero. The worst injury I see, by far, is something called a ruptured globe. Here's how to think about it. Your eyeball, that incredible organ that helps you see, is kind of like a fancy water balloon. It's full of fluid, it's under pressure, it holds its shape because of that pressure inside it. And this is where it gets complicated. Every layer of tissue inside that water balloon is critical to your vision. Now get this, let's say you just put a tiny slit in a water balloon. What would happen? Maybe some fluid starts to leak out slowly, but then let's say you go and pick the water balloon up. The whole thing collapses, everything leaks out, and things end up where they weren't supposed to be. That's the problem with the eye. Everything is in a very specific place, and you can do more damage when you try to help it. So if you want to be a hero if you're around a fireworks injury, remember the water balloon. Because what I'm going to tell you can prevent that water from bursting out and save someone's eye. Do you want to know the crazy thing? Most people think that the smaller fireworks are safer. Think about this for a second. Would you let your 2-year-old light their own birthday cake? Are you handing them one of these things? Turns out the American Academy of Ophthalmology actually asked parents this, and only 11% said yes. And that tracks because I'm not handing my kids one of these anytime soon. But what about giving your kids a sparkler? Would you do that? I confess, I definitely have, at least before I knew this data. More than half of parents said they would hand their kids a sparkler, compared to 11% who said they wouldn't let them light their own birthday cake. And like I said, I have let my own kids use sparklers. I'm not standing here as someone who got this right. The thing is, you might as well hand your kid a road flare, because sparklers burn at 2,000 degrees, which is higher than a road flare by about 50%. Everyone just assumes a sparkler is like basically a fancy candle, but it sheds metal debris and is 2,000 degrees, and kids usually hold them like 6 inches from their face. So why are we doing this? Kids under 15 account for about 1/3 of all fireworks injuries. Remember that next time you hand your kid a road flare this July. Okay, so enough with the bad news. You're still planning to do fireworks this year, so how can you keep your eyes safe? Let me guess, you're just gonna throw on a pair of sunglasses and call it a day? I get it, I've even done this. Your sunglasses are already in your car, it feels like you're doing something to protect yourself, but do you really think your $300 Maui Jims are gonna protect you? Or in my case, my $25 Gooders? Here's the thing, sunglasses are designed for one thing, UV light, not impact. A piece of flying debris is gonna go straight through your sunglass lens just like it isn't even there. So what actually works? You wanna look for eyewear that meets a standard called ANSI Z87.1. It's printed right on the lens or the frame of the glasses. Cheap safety glasses from the hardware store, those usually have it. And this isn't just for the person lighting the fireworks, it's for everyone standing nearby. Remember, they are the 65%. Safety glasses look dorky, I get it, but I don't care. Just wear them anyway. Now here's a section I almost cut from this video. Not because it isn't true, because it's uncomfortable. So get ready. Let's say you've done everything right. You're wearing dorky safety glasses, you're standing back, and it still goes wrong. There's an eye injury. Here's the thing. The week of July 4th is the single worst week of the year to walk into an American hospital. Doctors even have a name for it. Every year, on July 1st, tens of thousands of doctors start their training program called residency. So on June 30th, they're medical students. The next day on July 1st, they're doctors making decisions about your care. It's kind of crazy. And before you think, it's okay, they're supervised, it's fine. There's unfortunately actually data that shows that medication errors and bad outcomes can spike in July. The problem with that? Firework injuries surge in the week of July 4th, and the newest doctors in the building are still finding the supply closet, let alone fixing your eyeball. I'm not telling you this to scare you away from the ER. If someone gets hurt, you go. immediately, no questions asked. I'm telling you because it means what you do in the first 10 minutes matters more than usual. Which brings us to the part you stayed for. Get ready here. Let's say someone next to you takes a firework to the eye. Your instincts are about to be wrong, almost all of them. Here are the 4 things you must not do. Number 1, do not rub the eye. This is the big one. Your instinct, and it's a good instinct in almost every other medical situation, is to put some pressure on the wound. But the problem is rubbing drives that debris deeper and compresses tissue that might already be cut. Remember the water balloon we talked about? Squeezing it is the last thing you want, and rubbing the eye is like squeezing the water balloon. Number 2, do not rinse it out. This one kind of surprises people, but if the globe is ruptured, water carries contamination directly inside the eye and makes the damage worse. No rinsing, not even with clean water. Just go to an ER. If they determine it's a chemical injury, they can rinse it out. Number 3, do not remove anything embedded in the eye. Whatever is in there stays in there until we get them to the OR. I know the instinct. Pull it out, feel like you helped somehow. But pulling it out causes more damage than leaving it in alone, and it releases that pressure that's keeping all the rest of the eye structures in place. Just think about it. Would you, as a non-eye surgeon, try to pull it out in a backyard with no tools and just watch the eye lose pressure like a water balloon? Or would you rather someone like me take it out in a controlled operating room setting, clean field, proper instruments, sutures ready to go, and give that eye the best possible chance? Just leave it alone. Number 4, do not give aspirin or ibuprofen for the pain. Both of those are blood thinners. If they're headed to surgery, and they probably are, blood thinners can make my job significantly harder. Tylenol, acetaminophen, those things are fine for pain. Okay, remember that cheap thing from the pharmacy I mentioned at the very start? Here it is. It's called a rigid or Fox eye shield. $4, any pharmacy, takes up absolutely no space. It's a hard plastic shield that vaults over the eye without even touching it. This is just protection while you get them to the ER. Get this, a cheaper option is a paper cup just taped over the eye. It works just as well in a pinch. A real eye shield works even better. If you're gonna be around fireworks this year, keep one of these in the glove box. Because here's the thing, in a ruptured globe, what happens on the drive to the hospital can be as bad as the injury itself from the firework. Think about it. When your eye hurts, you rub it. It's just what you do. But someone rubbing their eye in the backseat of the car on the way to the ER for a severe eye injury, that can be the difference between blindness and being a hero. $4 can prevent that. I want to come back to that phone call I mentioned at the start. The ER doctor, the firework that went wrong. Most of the time, we can do a surgery that can help save the eye. Sometimes we can even save some vision. But these surgeries, they take a toll on us as eye surgeons and ER doctors and caregivers. It's hard to watch, especially if it's a kid. And every time, the story is the same. They were standing nearby, they weren't even the one lighting it, they didn't think they were at risk. Remember, 2 out of 3 fireworks injuries happen to the person who thought they were safe just standing there. Don't be that person. Safety glasses, distance, $4 eye shield in the glove box. If this is the kind of content you want, things your doctor knows but nobody thinks to tell you before something goes wrong, hit subscribe. That's what this channel is for. And if you or someone you know is dealing with an eyelid issue, just go to eyelid.pro/book and we'd be happy to see you. I'll see you in the next video.